Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Here today we've got a Mainline that I picked up at a grocery store yesterday, and I've had a lot of comments from folks saying they'd like to see more Mainline cars turned into Redlines. So I picked up this Range Rover for like 94 cents or something like that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to drill it out. This way here I can prepare it for the 2-56 screws that we're going to use. Now in the back, whoa, that went right in because the back one was plastic and I didn't realize that. Not a problem. We're still going to go ahead and set it up for a screw. Now I'm using this 9/64 bit and we're going to slowly take out the plastic portion there. You got to be careful because it'll chew it up really quick. Now the same thing here with the metal rivet on top, or the post. Wiggle it around a little bit when you start to dig in and you'll take that ring right off. That comes off really easy. Cool, we've got the whole thing apart. Here's the pieces parts. Here's the roof and the back post. We'll set that up for a screw. Here's the interior. Here's the base. We're going to do the wheel swap and turn it into a Redline. And here's the body. And the body looks pretty cool. I thought about maybe putting some stripes on there or something, but we're going to leave it alone. So this is what we're starting with here. This Hot Wheels Range Rover. Now this is a really cool casting. And the rims don't look too bad, but I think that once we set this up to make it look like a Redline, this is going to be pretty darn awesome. And like I said, I've had a lot of folks saying, hey, look, show more of these builds that you've got to turn Mainlines into Redlines and stuff like that. Well, that's what we're going to do with this bad boy here. So go ahead, grab your favorite adult beverage, and if you're watching this video in the morning, grab yourself a cup of coffee or a cold soda pop, watch the video, and then at nighttime, when it's time for an adult beverage, grab your adult beverage and watch the video again. All right? Because you know what? Even though I made the video, I'm going to do the same thing. Most of this build here is going to concentrate on doing the wheel swap with the Redline wheels. So we're going to have to take these bad boys out. I went ahead and I pried away the pins that hold the wheels in, or the axles. And I'm going to use my flat tip screwdriver here and I'm going to bend these pins out of the way because I want some pretty easy access for my wheels when I go to put the new ones back in. Like I said, just take your flat tip screwdriver and bend those tips out of the way. All right. Now we're going to use this axle material from K&S. 0.020 music wire. That's what the bearings fit on. And it's number 5499. Again, that's 5499. That's the stuff that you want to order. Now this material is available on my Amazon Marketplace page. I've already cut 2 lengths of the axle material, and I've got the bearings that I got from Grizz at Bearcat 3D Designs. So if you need to get some of these bearings, go to Bearcat 3D Designs, and I'll have a website for you here at the end of the video. Here's the piano wire, and that easily slides into the bearing, and the bearing spins with no issues. That's fantastic. All right. Now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take these fence pliers. Now you can use anything you possibly want to flatten out the end of the axle. This just happens to be what I use. I mean, you could use a center punch with a flat tip on an anvil to squeeze the end or whatever. But again, this is what I'm using here. See how it's flared out at the end. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip the bearing over the end of the axle and put that on. Now there is a little bit of a recess or a concaved area on these bearings, and that's what you want facing the pinched metal that you put on there, so it will hide the end of the axle. Pull it all the way to the end, and for the most part that hides the end of the pinch that you made in the metal. Now same thing here. Now you want to do it just the opposite, because the pinch is going to be on the opposite end. Now that little end there, you can file that down so it goes back inside the bearing so it doesn't interfere with your tire. And I'll show you here what I mean. Just file down the tip flat just a little bit. There you go. That'll be nice. Now that you've got the length of axle, you're going to have to, well, here I'm pinching it, but you're going to have to fit it inside the body, or the base, excuse me, to make sure that the axle is going to fit properly. Here we go. Now I know that this is too long, so we're going to have to cut it. Now you can use a marker or something, or a pencil, or anything you want to figure out how much material you're going to have to remove in order for that axle to fit properly. I mean, obviously you don't want your bearing coming out that far. So get a rough idea. Now I'm holding it with my fingers, moving that out of the way, and that's how much material I'm going to take off. Go ahead and cut it. Make sure you leave a little bit so you can pinch the end. And hold on to it when you're squeezing, because if you don't, sometimes it'll fly out of the tool and it'll fly all over the room and you'll lose all your stuff. Alright, let's see how that fits. It fits perfect. There you go. That's some good stuff right there, folks. So get you some bearings from Grizz at Bearcat 3D Designs.
Meanwhile, back in the graveyard.
Alright, we've repeated the process for the axle in the back. Now we're going to put just a little dab of super glue to hold this in place. Just a little tiny bit right there in the center. You don't want to slop it all over the place, because the interior actually holds the axle in place. Here I'm going to put just a little bit of accelerator on there to help dry it up really quick. Now you still got to be careful with this, because sometimes the capillary action will take that material down the axle and it will get into your bearing and it'll freeze up your bearing. So please be careful with that. Here's your body. Here's your base with the Redline tires. We went ahead and put those tires on there from the Redline Shop. Here's your interior. And here's your windscreen and roof. Let's go ahead and put everything together and let's do our reveal. And here's what we started with. A Mainline Hot Wheels Range Rover. Now again, this is a pretty cool casting, but we're going to go ahead and make it even better by turning it into a Redline. And folks, if you want to, you can turn any car into a Redline. All it takes is your imagination, and if you really want to do this. So get you a bunch of wheels from the Redline Shop, and get you a bunch of bearings from Grizz at Bearcat 3D Designs, and make your cars Redlines. This is very cool, and it's just like a simple wheel swap. So if you want to paint the car or whatever like that, you can still do that too. But this is a lot of fun. Alright, and I know that you can do this. So get the materials you need and start your own collection of cars that would be better as a Redline. And this is what we got to. Look how cool that looks. It's now a Redline. That is absolutely excellent. I love how this looks. I love how it turned out, and I didn't do anything to the paint or the interior or the glass or anything. And I made this a really sweet car. And again, like I said, folks, you can too. I know that there's a lot of people now that are sitting at home for this COVID pandemic that's going on and you're looking for something to do, check out my Amazon Marketplace page. I've got a lot of tools on there. Now again, I don't make a lot of money off it because I'm an affiliate. And what that means, or excuse me, an influencer. And what that means is I just have a place where you can find all these materials so you don't have to go searching all over the place. And again, I make a few cents here and there, so check out my Marketplace page in the comments section link. This video was brought to you by the Redline Shop. The Redline Shop offers a complete line of decals, tools to take your car apart, put them back together, replacement hoods, replacement glass, those beautiful Redline tires, and of course, the world-famous Spectre Flame paints. Fantastic products. The Redline Shop at www.redlineshop.com, where redlines come to life. Now, to get those wonderful bearings that you need, check out Bearcat 3D Designs. Now, Grizz not only prints those bearings, but he's got all kinds of other things that he 3D prints for your diecast hobby. So please go check out Bearcat 3D Designs at www.bearcat3ddesigns.com. Thanks for joining me here today on this short and sweet video on how to turn a mainline into a redline. Now, this is going to be kind of a regular series, so I'll probably come out with these once or twice a month on how to turn a mainline car into a redline. Thanks for coming today to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Please give it a thumbs up and a good big like in the comments, and we'll keep pumping out these videos. Cheers.